Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's podcast, I'm joined by a very special guest, Franklin Pierce hockey commit and current senior on the Rousseau women's hockey team. Memphis Mertens joins the show today. Memphis, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And how's everything going?
Good, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing well. How's the season gone for yourself so far, and how would you evaluate your team's performance as of now?
The season has gone pretty good. We're a very small team this year. We have 18 girls only and no JV. So we're all working very hard and doing what we can. And we've all learned a lot so far. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, and what kind of contributions do you want to make to the team this year since it is your final year of playing high school hockey?
Showing the girls that hard work pays off and earning your spot in Jersey is how a team comes together. I want to contribute to the team that playing as a Ram is a privilege, and it's not like playing for the name on the front of the jersey is how we'll all succeed, and it's not like you get a spot no matter what. You have to earn it, and I think that legacy should keep going on.
Yeah, and how do you try to show the younger players in the team kind of to continue that legacy once you leave?
I try to lead by example more. So on the first day of practice, Brian Bergstrom, our assistant coach, he came up to me and said the best way to be a leader is by leading by example, and it just kind of stuck with me. So I was like, oh, and I'm not super loud, but
Yeah, what type of things do you try to lead by example with? I'm just curious. Is it just kind of off the ice, just trying to, just kind of is it on the ice trying to do the right things, but also doing the right things off the ice as well, is what I'm trying to get at, I guess?
Yeah, both. On the ice, always just working hard, every drill and everything, and having fun. Showing the girls that having fun is a way to enjoy the sport more too. And then, yeah, off the ice also. But yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you kind of answered the third question, but how cool is it to be a senior in the team this year? And I guess, is it kind of weird to think about that this will be your final year playing high school hockey?
Yeah, it is pretty weird to think about. It went by very fast.
Now, how was your off season this past summer? Did you do anything interesting, whether it was hockey related, non-hockey related? Kind of what was that like for yourself?
This past summer, I had volleyball practice every morning in June. And then I had a workout camp directed specifically for hockey afterwards. And then I'd start work at 9 a.m. And then I became a counselor for a summer camp and took care of 40 kids. And that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then after work, I'd skate for about an hour or two, but only for 4 days of the week because I wanted some summer nights off too. But.
Oh yeah, totally. You deserved that. So I guess just playing another sport, can you translate what you do in volleyball in hockey? I'm just curious. I think there's probably some benefits of playing multiple sports besides just hockey in high school.
Yeah, volleyball, I've always loved the sport, and I don't know, it doesn't really have much with hockey, but just the speed of the game, maybe I'll say, can goes into hockey too. But yeah, I don't really know.
And also, how'd you handle being a camp counselor? That must be, it seems like there's a lot of responsibility on your plate. If you're responsible for 40 kids, it seems like.
Yeah, there's a few other counselors too, but there's only usually 2 other counselors while there was 40 kids. But it was a pretty crazy summer with that job, but it was fun.
Now, like last year, like many other hockey players faced for the off season, it was kind of hard to find ice time in gyms just because of the pandemic. So my question is, for this off season, with some of those things opening back up, was it easier to find ice time and to train? And how did you approach that, knowing that you have more kind of freedom to do what you want during the off season?
I just thought the whole time this off season, we did a lot of work outside, because everything was closed. But then I also thought anything can happen and don't take anything for granted. So each day counted to keep going and keep pushing myself and other people to just keep getting better, because you never know what can happen in the end. But
yeah, and absolutely. And I guess working out outside, is there some benefits from doing it outside versus in a gym setting? I'm assuming, have you noticed kind of what you've been doing in the off season translate on the ice, especially since I feel outside, you have more freedom and more space to kind of do longer drills.
Yeah, it did. There was a lot of benefits of doing outside too. That it was fun too just be
Mhm.
outside and in the fresh air. But
Oh yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately, you can't do it every day though. That's the one, I guess, downside of it.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Now, what was one area of your game you were hoping to improve on during the off season, and how have you improved on that area of your game as the season has progressed for this year?
Learning how to use my body more correctly and speed. Always trying to get faster at the game, and especially since college, like, will be a new level of speed. So I keep trying to get faster each and every practice and stronger. Not the biggest out on the ice, so I try and get stronger for that.
Now, I kind of want to transition and talk about the beginning of your hockey career and kind of work all the way up to where you are now today. So, you're from Minnesota. At least that's what it says on your elite prospect page. So, what was it like growing up there, and how did you start playing hockey?
Actually, I was the first hockey player in my family, and I didn't start until I was about like 8 years old. And in Minnesota, everyone starts at like 3 or 4. So I always thought like I'd be behind everyone and not be able to catch up. But my dad would bring me to the rink every night just to keep on skating and stuff. And then this is kind of a funny story, but when I was about like in 10U hockey, Brian Bergstrom, we call him Bergie, he's my assistant coach still. Um, he looked at my skates and asked where I got them, and he said they're from 1979, and like no one had those skates because they were so old. And then I had no idea at the time, and he just laughed because like he knew my family was never a hockey family, and like none of us knew what we were like supposed to do or the gear we were supposed to get or anything. So Bergie was super generous, and he brought me an old pair of his daughter's skates, and yeah, so that was kind of a funny story. He really helped me throughout my hockey career on just like keep on going and keep on loving the game and stuff. But um, I fell in love with the game at open hockey too, because in Roseville, it's such a small town. There's not like a ton of stuff to do. So that's where I really started to love and enjoy the game. And I'd go there after
Mhm.
school and everything. And that's just where it all started, kind of.
Did Coach Bergstrom really help you kind of catch up since you did start a little bit later than some of the other kids of your town where you're from?
Yes, he helped me a lot. He taught me basically all of my positioning and everything. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Now, who was your favorite player growing up? Did you watch any hockey, or were you are you kind of the person that likes to play hockey but not really watch it?
I like to watch hockey a lot. And my favorite like hockey player to watch growing up was Patrick Kane.
Hmm.
I don't know what it was with him, but he's really good. So I liked watching him. But yeah.
So you're not a Wild fan, or are you just a Patrick Kane fan?
I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, is it do you think he's the greatest American player of all time? Because I've had a debate with some of my friends, and I feel like Austin Matthews at one point might break his records, but 3 Stanley Cups and a silver medal, I feel like he's done everything that an American hockey player can achieve.
Yeah, yeah. And his hands are so quick. They're
Hmm.
so good. But yeah, it's fun to watch.
Now, have you tried some of his shootout moves like in a game before, especially the one where I'm assuming you know it, where he kind of serpentine roots and then he just dangles with his hands super quickly and then shoots it top shelf. Have you tried that before?
At open hockey I have, but never like in a game or anything. But
Is it hard to do in the game, or you just are too kind of afraid to go for it, I guess?
kind of too afraid, and it's kind of nerve-wracking too. I just
Hmm.
kind of go with doing what I can instead of like trying it. You know what I mean? Which
Oh
sounds
yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. And I guess like watching the NHL, what's some of your favorite moments, I guess, watching Patrick Kane and the Blackhawks? Was it one of those Stanley Cups? That has to be it, right?
Yeah, winning Stanley Cups for sure. Yeah. And Dustin Bufflin from Roseville, he used to play on that team too. But
That's awesome. Yeah. Which one of the cups was your favorite?
I don't even know. They're all fun to watch, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you just didn't say 2013 because I'm a big Bruins fan and I remember that Stanley Cup final a little bit differently than you do, I assume. So, but
Yeah.
great team to watch though. And I was more of a Tays fan to be honest with you. I really liked his game a lot, but I'm starting to appreciate Patrick Kane more, especially since he is from the USA.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now, coming into your first year on the varsity team, I guess my first question to you is, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make? Is it the speed, or is it kind of the mental side of the game, playing varsity high school hockey?
For me, it was definitely the speed of the game right away, and then the strength. I was pretty weak against like all the seniors and the juniors we were playing against. I got tossed around quite a bit out there, but it took a while to get used to like the speed, like I said. But yeah.
Hmm. And what was kind of the process of getting used to the speed and I guess the strength as well? Like, how do you think I guess looking back from your freshman year to now, how would you think you've improved on kind of the speed and kind of the strength part of playing varsity hockey?
I think the strength was probably I started to lift a little bit more
Hmm.
and I started to work out more. That helped a lot. And then for the speed, even getting better vision really helped because like knowing when to go like faster at certain spots. You know what I'm saying? Kind
Yeah.
of. Then yeah, the vision helped a lot with that. And then speed wise, I just do like a lot more off ice training and stuff.
And speaking of the speed and kind of the strength part, just talk about your development as a whole from your freshman year to your senior year now so far with Rousseau.
So my first few years, I was really quick to just like throw the puck away, just kind of get rid of it. And then these past years, I started to realize like if I have open ice, I can try take it and then make a play. But yeah, in my beginning years, I definitely just try to throw the puck away and not have much control. The control of my game completely changed from freshman year till now. But yeah.
Now, I'm not from Minnesota, so just talk about the Minnesota high school hockey scene and what's it like being a player in that atmosphere. Because watching the YouTube clips of just the state championship, seems like it's a pretty crazy environment. Like it's kind of hard to understand if you're not from Minnesota, like myself.
Yeah, the Minnesota boys and girls state tournaments are basically like holidays for us. And then the rivalries here in Minnesota too are pretty big. Like that's like they're all like, yeah, hockey's kind of like huge. Not kind of, it's very huge in Minnesota, and that's like where I don't know. It's just like the hockey state, you know what I'm saying? And then the Rosa Warroad rivalry is very good to watch. It's very intense always, and it's huge games throughout the whole year. But yeah.
That must be fun to go to War Road and kind of beat them in their own barn. I feel like, I don't know if you've done that before in your high school career, but that must be like, I don't know. I feel like that would be fun going to your rivals' barn. I feel like, do you like playing more at home sometimes, or do you like kind of being underdogs on the road?
I like being underdogs on the road. Playing away too and knowing the rinks I'm like going to, that's fun to me. But yeah, the World Rink is not my favorite because it's Olympic size, but we haven't, they're a very good team, which I hate saying that because it's my rivalry. But um, my sophomore year, we beat them once and they beat us once because we only usually play them twice. And then I'm not sure it's going to happen this senior year, but hopefully we can take it to them. But
Mhm.
it'll be a fun game.
Now, speaking of being a senior, how's your school year gone so far, and what are some senior activities you're looking forward to the most? Because I guess the past two seniors haven't really gotten that full experience yet, just because of how the pandemics worked.
Yeah, that's true. I feel bad for those seniors too, but so far this year for my senior, it's been pretty awesome. And right now we're building a new school, so there's like a lot of construction going on around the school and stuff. But we have one part done, and it looks pretty good. It's nice to have a new school, and then I'm really looking forward to graduating, even though I
Oh, yeah.
do want to stay. But I'm excited to graduate too. But my favorite activities is probably homecoming and then the pet fest. Then we have another winter pet fest coming up too. That'll be fun.
Nice. Is homecoming, I guess, more for football, or is it for hockey as well?
Well, homecoming, our football team isn't the greatest here. We've won like one game in the
Hmm.
past like 2 years, or I don't even remember, but it's more just for like the fun of it and like the people. It's yeah, volleyball. It's
Yeah.
kind of volleyball based, but yeah, it's pretty fun.
Is it like there's like a dance probably like during that kind of week as well? That's how I remember it, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. I don't know if it's different in Minnesota or not.
No, yeah, there's a homecoming dance like on the Friday at the end of the homecoming week.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying all of it and enjoy it because you never know when it's going to be taken away from you. I think a lot of us kind of learned that a couple of years ago. So now,
Yeah.
speaking of, I guess, the pandemic, last year your team had to deal with some challenges because of it. What were some of the challenges your team dealt with, and kind of what was the key through getting through all those challenges? Like, I'm assuming you had some games that got postponed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the postponed games that was not fun, but also like the fear of like we had a small team last year too. It's like the fear of like if someone's going to get COVID, are they going to be out for 2 weeks? Is our whole team going to be out for 2 weeks? And then our whole team actually was quarantined because there was a teammate of mine that had COVID and she got tested, and then we all got sent home, and it was right before the season started too. So that was kind of a challenge right away. Everyone was starting and we haven't quite started yet, but yeah, but it was nice because like every one of us, every practice would just go out on the ice and just make the most of it. And yeah, it was fun, but it was challenging, but yeah, it was still fun at the same time. Fun season.
It seems like a lot of, at least talking to other like players from high school, at least for last year, some of them just took online school just to limit the chances of testing positive. I don't know if your team did that, and if you did, kind of how'd you handle doing school online?
Yeah, we did do that. We did that more so in the middle of the year because no one else was really doing that in our school. And then when we found out like other schools were, we started to do it. And it was tough for me. I'm a very like visual learner. So it's kind of hard doing online school, but I would actually go to a teammate's house almost
Mhm.
every day. And like us three, because they're sisters, us three would do our homework together and stuff and just help each other out, which is nice.
Speaking of last year, fans were allowed at games, but however, at a minimum capacity. So how'd you adjust to not having a bigger crowd than you're used to?
Right away, it was kind of weird. But then also since our town is so small, like we're not used to like huge crowds. So we were like, I don't know, we just kind of got used to it after a little bit and just played our game and focused on the hockey part, you know?
And is it nice this year to kind of have things like fan wise back to normal?
Yes, it's great. There's been some pretty big crowds this year actually, because we have a new head coach also.
Hmm.
So like everyone wants to see like what's going on now and everything, the changes and everything that's happening. But yeah.
Is it weird as a senior to have a new head coach, and what's that transition been like for you?
Yeah, it's different, but I like it. I don't really know what to say because like I like all my coaches I've had in the past and I like this one too. So it's a different feel, but also at the same time it feels kind of nice to just have a change too. But
Yeah. And I have a question just regarding the fans. Does your team have like a student section? Because that's something I've noticed watching YouTube clips of Minnesota high school hockey is just the student sections. And if you do have a student section, how cool is it to play in front of them?
yeah, the girls don't really have a student section, but the boys do.
Hmm.
And I'll say it's fun to be in the student section for the boys team, but our girls team has never really had one. But the boys hockey team does come to most of our games and cheer and watch. They just don't like wear jerseys and stuff. But yeah, it's fun.
What are some of the best chants? Is there any particular ones that your school does that other schools don't, or is it kind of just the basic stuff?
Um, I don't even know. I don't know many of the chants because we all get scheduled. Like we have a school chant actually. So like
Hmm.
we have this. I forgot about this, but we have a big drum, and we like bang on it twice, and then like we all yell "skull" and clap our hands. Which I don't know if many other schools do that, but then it goes faster and goes louder, and it sounds pretty cool. But yeah,
I
that's
know
my
the
favorite one.
Viking. I know the Vikings do that. I'm not sure if other like high school teams do it though.
Yeah.
Now, last season, your team lost to Alexandria in the section championship game. So, how are you using that loss for this season to help motivate your team to get back in that spot and win it?
That was a very fun game, but it was super sad. But um, I use it a lot of motivation from it because like it reminds me that every shift counts and like one shift off can completely break a game. But like not saying that's what happened in the Alexandria game. It was a tough game. So like, and we only had 2 lines in 4D, and like Alexandria had like 3 lines, I think. I don't even know, and like probably 60. But like none of us could take a shift off, and that's what we have to remember this year too, as having a small and young team because we have mostly freshmen on our team this year. And I know that like we can still do it and push ourselves to get to where we want to go. And I do use that Alexandria game to remember like the feeling too of losing a section championship game. Like that sucks. So hopefully this year we can make it to the championship game and win it. But,
No, what's been
yeah.
the biggest thing you've learned, I guess, being a senior on the team this year?
Um, that the oldest being the oldest on the team is pretty fun. And then probably keeping my head on a swivel is huge and like extremely important. And like that if our whole team can do that, it can help us win games and stuff. But yeah.
Mhm. And how would you kind of evaluate your whole high school hockey experience, right, as a win, I
Um,
guess?
like 1 through 10.
Yeah, just
Like,
like when you think back on it now, how would you evaluate your high school hockey experience? I know technically the season isn't over, but it's probably it seems like it's from my perspective, it's been going well.
yeah, I definitely rated it, like if it was like 1 through 10, I definitely rated a 10. And I love being a Ram and playing for this team. And every year has been super fun. And like all of us girls are so close. We're like a family. So, and like hockey is where I met all my closest friends. So I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely been good throughout the years.
Now you
Yeah.
recently just committed to Franklin Pierce. Just talk about your recruitment process there and what made you want to commit there versus other schools you might have looked at.
I got an email from them this late spring, and I talked to my family about it, and they were all for it because like I love the East Coast, and I do want to get out of this small town and like go kind of like get out and like go do new things and go new places and stuff. So yeah, and then finally I talked to my family about it, and then I got a call a little bit later, and the coach was really kind and like it seemed like a great fit. So then I was like, that seems right. So then I just was like, I'll be a Raven. It'll be fun. So yeah, that's just kind of how it happened.
Now, for all
Yeah.
the college hockey fans that are listening to this podcast that have never seen you play before, just describe your game to them and what do you hope to bring to Franklin Pierce in the near future?
Speed is probably my top thing in hockey, and then like my work ethic. I always have like thought like hard work beats talent, like when talent doesn't work. So I always work hard and do what I can because I feel like if you work hard, you can get to where you want to be.
Hmm.
That's what I've always thought. But yeah.
Now, have you watched any of Franklin Pierce's games this year?
I watched one. I haven't gotten to many others, but I'm gonna try like watch more and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, and how much college hockey, I guess, have you been watching this year? It's been a fun year to watch for me, but I don't know if you've had the chance to catch any games.
Yeah, I've watched Wisconsin a little bit and some Bemidji games and Quinnipiac games because I have some pretty close friends on that team that I haven't seen for a while. So I've watched them a few times, and yeah, I'm trying to watch more, but with homework and hockey and everything piling up,
Yeah,
I get a little tired. But yeah.
no, I totally understand. Now, Quinnipiac and Wisconsin are both having big seasons. Is it nice to see some of your former teammates, Katie and Sophie Helgensen, doing well in college hockey?
Mhm. Yeah, they're doing very well. Yeah, they love it. So
Now, who do you have winning the national championship this season?
I gotta go with Wisconsin. Mostly because Soap's on that team, and they're always been a great, strong team. But yeah.
What if Quinnipiac played Wisconsin in the national championship game? How torn will you be if that happened?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't know who to cheer for. It'd be a fun game to watch, that's for sure. But I think they do actually play each other January 1st,
Oh,
don't they?
yes, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. I think I'm gonna watch that game. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a fun matchup, especially since both teams are highly ranked. So it should be interesting to see how an East Coast team does against kind of a Midwest team.
Yeah.
So we're now in a segment I like to call the non-hockey segment, where I kind of ask you some non-hockey questions just to get to know you a little bit more off the ice. So my first question to you is, what music do you like to listen to, whether it's before a game or just on a general basis?
Before the game, I definitely like to listen to rap and like Rihanna. I don't know what it is, but she always gets me pumped up before games. And then I do like country, just like in general. I like listening to country, but yeah.
Was like country like your most listened to genre? I don't know if you have Spotify or not, but they do those raps where they kind of like reveal like what some of your top listened to songs or artists.
Yeah, mine was definitely it was rap and country, and my top artist was, I don't even remember. I think it was, I don't remember who my top artist was. I haven't looked at it for a while. And I just transitioned to Apple Music, so
Oh,
it
okay,
probably wasn't
okay.
accurate, but yeah.
It is what it is. I understand. So, and what? Speaking of on the topic of music, but what's your guilty pleasure song?
Probably I Love College by Asher Roth. That's a good song, but yeah.
Nice. I've never heard it before, but I definitely gotta check it out sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good song.
Now, if there was a movie made about your life, who would you want to play yourself and why?
Is it like actresses or like anyone?
Anyone in particular, if you want. I don't know.
If it was like actresses, probably Kate Hudson because she's like my favorite actress, and she's the main character in my favorite movie. So probably her for actresses. But yeah,
Now, speaking of your teammates, who's the funniest teammate you have at Rousseau?
I gotta go with Summer Bufflin. She's super witty, and she just says a lot of random things that just make us all laugh. So yeah,
Who has the best style on the team besides yourself?
Jasmine Hubda. She's my little cousin, but I
Nice,
do like
nice.
that guy. Yeah.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
When people like take bites out of string cheese instead of like pull it. I know it sounds weird, but like I hate that. And then when someone interrupts me or like another person and they keep doing it, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts too. So I totally see where you're coming from on that. Now back to some hockey questions now, just to wrap up things. What do you think should be done to help grow women's hockey in your opinion? Because I kind of want to hear your perspective, just because you haven't played a college hockey game yet, but I feel like you've kind of experienced what it's like being a women's hockey player just growing up.
I definitely think that we can try to get more girls to join because like our program here at Rosal is slowly getting smaller and smaller. And like I hope that it'll get bigger soon and more girls will join and like stay in it and stuff. And then also maybe more college teams. Like UND, their program stopped. And I think like if somehow we can get more money for the college teams to come back or like more college teams to come and then maybe even more like televised games if
I totally
possible.
agree with that. Yeah, because like there's no high school games broadcasted here in the East Coast, and I think Minnesota's like the only like place that will do that sometimes. I don't know if they broadcast any of the women's games though.
Yeah, I don't know either. They might, but
hmm
yeah, yeah.
And what advice would you give like a younger player who's trying to pursue a D1 college hockey scholarship?
To just work hard and keep going and don't give up and use like every game as a learning experience and like to have fun because like people are doing good at doing things they love. So like always have fun with the game and just know that you're working for something that you want because you enjoy it.
Now, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to your family members, friends, or teammates, or anyone that you might have not mentioned throughout this interview?
Definitely to my teammates and my coaches and my family, like especially my parents and then Bergie, because without him, I'd be nowhere where I am today in hockey or even in life because he gives out great life lessons too. But yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
they all
Well,
help me. Yeah,
Well, thank you so much, Memphis, for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. Take care and stay safe. And once again, I wish you nothing but the best. And I look forward to watching you play in college hockey in the near future.
perfect. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great.